welcome to Girls Run These Worlds. I am your chronicler for today, Maddie Searle. My pronouns are they, them. And today we are playing The Curse of the House of Rookwood in the first session of our four-part mini-series, Blood Will Out. Oh, spooky. I am joined by three fabulous players today for this gothic game of family dysfunction. Could I get you all to tell me your name, your pronouns, and your character's name and pronouns, starting with Megan?
I'm ready. Hi, I'm Megan, she, her, and I am playing Mallory Rookwood. Oh my God. Rookwood. I know what I'm doing, everybody. It's fine. Also, she, her. Oh my God.
It's all good. And Julia, how about you?
Hello, everyone. My name is Julia. I use any pronouns, and I will be playing Sigmund Wisteria, also known as Sigmund Rookwood, who uses he, him pronouns.
Beautiful. And Janie.
Hi, I'm Janie. I am she, they pronouns, and I'm playing Cordelia, who also uses she, they pronouns.
Beautiful. All right. Sadly, our fourth player, Balasha, can't join us today, but hopefully we'll have them back next week. Fingers crossed. And also, before we get started, quick content warning. This is a horror game and may include blood, gore, body horror, mental illness, and almost certainly will include family dysfunctions. So please be warned, if any of these don't sound like your bag, please keep yourself safe and log off if you need to. That is absolutely, your safety comes first. So, but without any further ado, let's jump straight into this game. We begin the story in the year 1847, 10 years into the reign of Queen Victoria, and we see a huge manor house perched on a gloomy cliff top on the English coastline just as the sun is beginning to set. It's a magnificent neoclassical building from the 1660s. It's got columns and porticos and large windows, but on closer inspection, some of the columns are a little worse for wear. One or two of the windows are boarded up, and the vines that cover one side of the building look like they may be sneaking in and destabilizing some of the stonework. And inside, gathered around the dining table in a cold and cavernous hall, are just a few members of the Rookwood family, assembled for their evening meal. So at the head of the table is a formidable looking woman in her late 60s, wearing a dark purple gown that shows some sign of wear at the collars and the collar and cuffs. This is Marina Rookwood, who is the matriarch of this family. She is pretty tall, but she's currently sat sort of hunched over her slightly meager looking meal. And I would just like to ask, who else do we see at the table? Megan, could you please describe your character and what they're doing?
Yes. Mallory Rookwood is the spinster sister. She's not like early 30s, but no marriage. That's not going to work. Not in this family. Our family is here to slowly fall into the sea, and that's the air she carries about herself. She's sitting at the table. She has a book today. She's reading "Death from the Sea," Volume 13, as she just kind of like stirs the food, but doesn't really seem to be eating it much. And by her feet and a little off her shoulders, if you look carefully, depending how the lighting is, there's almost like a little bit of like mist that seems to come off her and makes some of the stuff around her kind of perpetually damp.
Excellent. And Julia, where is your character sitting?
Sigmund is probably seated next to Mallory. He has a short like mop of the kind of wavy black hair, these grayish blue eyes. He is bored out of his mind. He's got a tall glass of wine and he has chosen a spot on the wall and is just like mentally not here right now. He's dressed very nicely. He keeps a very like clean cut appearance. Normally in public he wears gloves, but as he is home with his family, there's no need. So one would see that his fingertips are all transparent. It kind of just looks like his fingers stop after a certain point. The most humble thing on his person is he wears a ring on his right hand that's just made out of a copper wire.
Excellent. All right. So as you are quietly consuming this sort of mediocre meal, which is the best that Uncle, the enigmatic housekeeper of this manor, can produce at this point with the resources available. Uncle has been around for as long as you can remember, even for as long as your mother can remember, but no one really knows if he's a member of the family. He just has always been here, and he sort of shuffles into the room, looking to your eyes about 90 years old, but there's something kind of slightly ageless about him as well. There's something uncanny about this man, but he comes in, pours some more wine into all of your glasses, and uh, and your mother, Marina, turns to you, Sigmund, and says, "Well, it's absolutely delightful to have you here. It's been so long since we last saw you. I know you've been back for a couple of days, but it's I just can't get over how lovely it is to have you back."
Yes, well, I wish I could say the same.
Well, goodness. Do you have something that you wish to share with the group?
Oh, no, please. We all. Never mind. I apologize. I was rude.
Oh, thank you for your apology. It certainly needed to be said.
I'm sure it did. Yes.
And as we look at this very awkward scene, we start to zoom out from one of the windows and look down the winding path that goes down one of the cliffs at the edge of the family estate and onto a small rocky beach, which is covered in rock pools and sort of adrift seaweed. And we see a figure emerging from the waves, directly from the waves on this dark. Oh, the sun is just setting the evening. So Janie, could you please describe your character as they emerge sopping wet from the ocean, or the North Sea, I should say?
Cordelia is a slender young woman. As she rises from the waves, you see the seawater just um, running off of her. Her long, wet hair, a shawl. Um, and if the camera looks at her eyes, you can see they're blue. They are like a stormy kind of, remind you of seawater. And she will just rise out of the water and just keep walking towards the mansion.
Yes. Even though, um, have you been to the manor before, or is this your first time?
I believe this is my first time.
Cool. All right. So yes, as you start to climb the winding cliffside path, you feel an odd sense of familiarity, as if you have lived here all your life, even though this is the very first time you are seeing this landscape, this path. And as you reach the top of the cliff and look towards the manor house, yeah, it's both a sense of novelty and deep familiarity, and you just feel yourself drawn to the front door. And as you're sitting at the table, Mallory and Sigmund, you hear, what kind of knock do you do at the door? Or do you just try and walk straight in, Cordelia?
You hear a very heavy and hollow knocking from the door knocker, just over and over again, insistent.
You expecting someone, Mother?
Not at all. This is rather unexpected. Um, Uncle, could you please go and see who that is? Are either of you going to join Uncle to see who it is, or are you going to just stay?
Mallory is curious, but just kind of dives deeper in the book. Like, if I ignore this, it's not a thing that is happening.
Excellent. Okay. So yes, Cordelia, as you wait by the door, you hear it creak open, and you see this ancient-looking man, with with the kind of ring of hair around the ears, bald on top, and the sort of and a kind of tattered looking tailcoat on. And as soon as he sees you, his eyes go wide, and he's just, "You shouldn't be here."
I am here. Is Mother home?
Uh, I will inquire. The mistress will know what to do about this. Very well, come in. You must be cold. And he sort of ushers you in and slams the door behind you, not very welcoming, and scurries back to the dining room to whisper in Marina Rookwood's ear.
I kind of follow him.
Great. Yes. As you follow him, he kind of turns back to look at you as if sort of warning you away with a look, but you're not deterred. You keep following, and as you enter into the dining room, you see your mother and two people you've never seen before. And so, what do you do as you enter?
I look for a seat.
Yep, there are many seats at this very long table. You can absolutely sit down.
I take a seat.
And Marina Rookwood, the matriarch, looks and goes, who is that? Who's this intruder coming into our... And then pauses for a second and looks. Cordelia.
Hello, Mother.
What is this? Where have you been? What? I don't understand.
I came home, Mother, just as I always intended.
What? But you were lost. You were lost at sea 25 years ago.
The sea has brought me home.
I should have known. The sea always brings my children home. What are Mallory and Sigmund doing in reaction to this?
Mallory absolutely shoots a look to Sigmund, like trying to like not look like she was like, "Oh my god," but like,
yes, I think we're just having a whole conversation with our eyes right now.
Right. Yeah.
But I think like slowly a smile will spread across Sigmund's face.
Whereas a look of terror has started across Mallory's, like, "Oh no, no."
Because I believe that Mallory and Sigmund have heard or perhaps read the name Cordelia before. Is that correct?
Yes, we have.
How did this come to pass? How long ago was this?
I was 7.
Yeah, so yeah, I think we figured I was probably about 13. I think we spent time in the library, especially when Uncle seemed super stressed about us being in certain parts of the library. So that just, obviously made it more fun. And there are a lot of family secrets that are hiding in there, not as well as they think they are.
As one would hope.
Yeah.
All right, yes. So this figure from family lore has appeared in front of all of you. And Marina turns to Mallory and Sigmund and says, "Well, I suppose I should introduce you to your half sibling, Cordelia."
What a wonderful surprise. Hello there.
Hello.
I'm sure you have many questions, but
yes, once it seems that you can no longer avoid Mother.
Yes. You were always an astute child, Sigmund. I don't know where to begin. Cordelia, what has happened in the intervening years? Do you remember where you were?
The sea.
All right.
I see you I have siblings.
Yes. I have to say that the period in my life which you were given to me was a more optimistic time when I thought that I could outrun my legacy. And your father, Theodore, was very important to me, but my duty to this place took precedence, and I had to return, as I'm sure you remember. But I had heard that you were on a ship that sank.
You watch as Cordelia has this like 1,000-yard stare when you say that. Well,
Uh,
Mother, I came home.
Yes, of course. And Marina gets out of her seat, walks over to you, and kind of very awkwardly plants a hug around you that sort of just feels like just these sort of limp limbs just kind of hanging on your body in this incredibly uncomforting way.
Cordelia looks very uncomfortable, like trying to get out of the hug.
Marina
Absolutely more
pulls
looks
her.
from Mallory to Sigmund. Like this entire play that is happening before them
Yeah.
while trying not to react in really any way.
Sigmund is loving this. He loves watching his mom squirm.
And Marina kind of returns to her seat and says, I think it would be best, Mallory Sigmund dear, that you did not bother your father with this. He is quite content in his tower with his writings and should not be disturbed unless absolutely necessary. Do you understand?
I would say, if anything, this is precisely the thing we should be bothering him with, Mother.
All right. I understand your perspective, but why don't we let Cordelia settle in a little before we jump to any further conclusions about this?
I would
Of
love to
course.
have a father.
All
I,
right. Well, he sleeps quite early these days, so perhaps we should leave it till tomorrow at least. And of course, your cousin Eurybia will be back with her parents and her wife very soon from their business in London, and they will want to be introduced. Oh goodness,
I am part of this family, Mother.
yes, you are. May I inquire? Has the mark of the sea, has your personal mark been made upon you?
Yes, Mother.
May I
If
ask?
you look at the eyes, you can see the eyes kind of.
Yeah, I think yeah, as you sort of gesture to your face, Marina sort of has a moment of realization and nods and goes, "Ah, I see. Yes, of course. Silly of me not to notice." Goodness. Well, I think I shall speak to Uncle and make sure a room is prepared for you. She gets up and beckons Uncle to follow, and they leave the room, leaving you three alone. What would you like to do?
Just want
Mallory gets like, oh, go ahead.
sorry.
Oh no, Mallory gets like all of a sudden like this intense look in her eyes, and she kind of leans forward a bit to Cordelia. And does the sea have a message for us? Is it time
Time for what, sister?
for this family and this house to crumble and return into the sea the
Mallory,
way it all?
Mallory,
Uh,
Mallory.
yes, dearest brother,
She just got here.
from the sea.
Yeah, yes, and we're very grateful for that. Um, Cordelia, this is going to sound strange, but we've known about you for some years. This is fascinating. It's incredible to see you in the flesh.
It's odd to meet a fairy tale.
Yes, but we're very glad you're here. Welcome.
I came to be with my family, my sister, my brother.
As
knew
we
about
crumble
us?
into the sea.
No, Mallory.
This is the sign I have been waiting for. I can only take walks around the manor and chip away at the base. It's only doing so much. It's going
Mallory,
to
this
take
is
a while, but this is the inciting incident. Sigmund, you love a good drama. This is it.
inciting incident. We've been alive for years, darling. This is not a sign of death. It's a sign that it's a cause for celebration, if anything.
The celebration of death. All signs are
Oh my
signs of
god.
death.
Sister dear,
Yes.
the sea return me. I don't think will let this legacy crumble into the sea and wash away in the waves.
That's the only thing that'll absolve us.
Mallory is right about one thing, Cordelia, and it's that this family is not, if you ask me and certain other parties, not entirely worth preserving. I have a manor house in London where I more occasionally live. Uh, you and Mallory and anyone else willing to jump ship, as it were, haha, are welcome to join me there at any time.
Salt preserves everything.
Ah, yes, yes. Dearest brother, I have always thought it adorable that you think you can have another house and you think you can stay away from here. But as we just saw, the sea returns us all. We all have to be here and then crumble into the sea.
I'm not here because of the sea, Mallory. I'm here because of you. And now my other sister as well.
Well, that's your personal tragedy then, for I will always be here.
Oh dear.
Would you like some more soup, Cordelia? Without a change in tone, just kind of reaches for like whatever like the tureen is. Soup.
Yes, sister, I will take some soup. Thank you.
There's like one little tentacle in it. It's probably octopus.
Cordelia, might I ask you a question?
Yes, brother.
You can call me Sigmund, please. Mallory and I learned of you. We found your portrait in the library when we were children. You don't appear to have aged.
Correct. I was coming back home after I was to be married, and I wanted to come home to bring my wife to my family.
Oh,
And I'm here. I made it home.
how wonderful! So you lived in the ocean?
No, I took a trip and I finally made it home.
Right. All right,
You tried to escape, and the sea brought you back.
Mallory.
This is just what I'm trying to protect you from. Dear Cordelia had a tragedy because they tried to move away. They tried to escape the damp gravity that is being a Rookwood. I don't want you to hurt that way.
I can hardly see sold out theatres as a tragedy, but to each their own, I suppose.
It is a theater, but to each his own.
Sigmund, you're in a theater?
Yes, I'm a magician.
Can I see magic?
Oh, of course. I take out a deck of cards that I always have because I'm like this. Um, I'll do a quick little something.
Yes, you flourish the cards in front of Cordelia, and perhaps you make a card disappear between your fingers.
Yeah.
Mallory pretends not to look, but when anytime Sigmund does magic, she does get a little smile. She just tries to like, I have to read this passage in this book right now, but it's fairly obvious.
Sister, do you know magic as well?
I've been trying to teach her. She refuses to learn.
I know how to stay put. I know how to remember history. Um, I can draw. That's
She
good
can
for
draw.
remembering. Yeah,
She can draw.
I draw portraits to remind us, and then I crumple them and throw them into the sea.
But enough about us. What was this? What was this journey for you? This journey from the ocean.
We were on a large ship. It was a very joyous occasion coming back. I was excited to see Mother, and Mother had a new child. That must have been you, sister.
Ah, the beginning of the end.
Oh my god.
At this point, Marina bustles back into the room and says, Cordelia, dear, we have made sure that one of the guest rooms is fully appointed for you. There are fresh sheets and a washing basin and everything that you should need. There should also be fresh clothes. So yes, I hope you should be comfortable here for as long as you shall need.
Well, am I near my family, or are you going to hide me away again?
No, you're in the main corridor, the same corridor as your siblings. I
Didn't know
I
anything about me.
they I was ashamed of my own mistakes. It was not your fault. I I thought that I was protecting the family by hiding my mistake away, which was clearly not what the sea had planned for us. I'm sorry.
Um, Thank you for dinner in the room, Mother.
You're most welcome. Uncle can show you to your room whenever you like, but for now I may retire to the drawing room, and you may join me if you like. And she just sort of awkwardly sort of shuffles backwards out of the room.
Oh, was Mother upset?
Mother's always upset. This is a fairly good day for her. Hmm. Perhaps we should. Ah, I know. And Mallory seems later. Let's go talk to Mother more. She's very good at secrets. Perhaps we can shake some more out of her.
She, yes, she did keep me hidden from you.
Hmm. Don't like secrets. There are too many in this family. It's hard to know where we're going if we don't know where we've been, and we've been in some unfortunate places. That's why this family needs to go. But for now, we're here, so let's see if
I'm
she's hiding anything else. I'm sure she'd love this right now.
I'm terribly sorry about all this, Cordelia. I have my own issues with Mother, but we're very glad you're here. And should you ever wish to confide in me, instead of the woman who chose to hide you from us for years, I'm happy to talk.
This my portrait's hidden away, correct?
Yes, we found it by accident.
Well, I'm going to put it into light.
Good.
All right. So do you all head on over to the drawing room? for some after dinner drinks.
Cordelia's going to do her portrait first.
Yeah, I would
Right.
like to go to talk to Mom, but yeah.
Cool. All right. Let's try the first roll of the game. Cordelia, could you please roll me Guile to see if you can find your portrait in the library?
Okay, that would be just my 3 guile dice, correct?
You can either roll 1 die for like an ordinary type of roll, 2 for an extraordinary effort, or 3 for a supernatural effort. So the more dice you roll, the more chance you have of rolling a double or a triple, which will mean that, so if two or 3 of the numbers are the same, that means you lose one of your trait dice. So and 4, 5, or 6 are a success. So you can either do a not so risky roll with more chance of failure, or a more risky roll with more chance of success.
You know what? I just came out of the sea to see my mother who's headed me away for the past 25 years. So I'm going to be risky and learn
Perfect.
the game. So I think
Nice.
to risk something.
Okay.
Okay, please be good dice. Oh, I think I have to stop it. I got 1, 1, and a 3.
So yeah, you start exploring the manor, and it's not long before you find your way to the library. It's like you have a sort of internal compass for where the main features of this house are. And you start rummaging in bookshelves, drawers, cabinets, but you can't find anything. And you see in these glass cases to the side of the library are these books that seem to be sort of crystallized in salt, and they're open to just, they only have 2 pages visible, and it looks like if you tried to turn the page, then the whole thing would shatter.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be very upset in the library for a moment while I can't find my portrait.
All right, so Sigmund, are you going to talk to your mother? And
Mhm.
Mallory, what are you doing?
Mallory would follow and quietly sit near Mother, especially knowing that Cordelia was searching for the portrait and very curious about what the reaction would be.
Mm-hmm. All right, and yeah, and Cordelia, just whenever you want to re-enter the scene, just let us know. But in the meantime, Sigmund, what are you saying?
With another full glass of wine in hand. So secrets come back to bite you, it would seem.
Yes, I should have known that you would enjoy this, Sigmund.
I hardly enjoy it after hearing about the ordeal she seemed to have had, that you refuse to tell us of in any sort of detail.
Well, I wasn't present. Obviously, if I had been on that ship too, I would have perished or been taken by the sea.
Well, I hope you know that just because she's back doesn't mean you'll have her.
What do you mean?
She's her own person, and if she has no interest in this family, then that is her prerogative.
I see. So you're still on your crusade to evacuate us from our ancestral home?
I don't care what you do with the home. You can be where you wish. I care that my sisters are taken care of and in a place where they will be respected and loved, but I ultimately can't control what you do.
The insinuation that I do not, with all my being, care for your siblings is deeply hurtful to me, Sigmund.
Yes, what an insinuation. Long sip.
Cordelia comes back in, very upset. Her eyes are really, really stormy right now. I cannot find my portrait. Why have you hidden me away?
Your portrait was in the the library the last I looked. It should be, and she describes a sort of a particular cupboard where she thought it would be. At this point, Uncle shuffles in with a silver tray of drinks, and he says, Duchess, I thought it was your wish that all records of Miss Cordelia were to be destroyed. I'm sorry if that is not, if I misinterpreted your wishes. And Marina kind of looks to him and goes, Uncle, I understand that you were trying to protect this family, but that was not what I wanted. I'm sorry, Cordelia. I wish I could show you the evidence that we remembered you, and although I didn't tell my children, I still held on to you in my heart, but obviously that isn't, there is no evidence of this. I'm sorry.
I have a question. As Mallory or Sigmund, I'm sure they found all sorts of hidden things in the house. Would they know places that Uncle would be likely to, say, hide things that he didn't want them to know about? Does he have any little nooks where we found stuff as a kid?
I think you would know that the wine cellar is one of Uncle's favorite spots, where he keeps a little desk where he can write down all the sort of family accounts.
I think Mallory would get up, maybe with a look to Sigmund, and head towards that wine cellar without saying anything,
Mhm.
and do a little search of places that she would know.
All right, yeah. Could you please do me a guile roll?
Okay, let's see. I've got. You know what? Let's do two. That's like a middle of the road kind of, but a little more than just minimal effort. She is kind of. She'll lift stuff up and look under it. That's a 4 and a 3.
All right, that's one success. So yes, as you head down to the wine cellar and you see all these dusty bottles kept in their racks, you see the little desk in the corner, and you you find just a scrap of an oil painting, and the and it's just the eye of a subject, and even though the color of the eye is different, you can tell that it is Cordelia's eye. It's just tucked in a drawer under some very boring looking accounts.
I think Mallory will take it, gaze upon it, and this is what she remembers as that portrait that they had found, and she'll bring it back up to the drawing room. Is there a fireplace with a mantle where there might be some portraits in the drawing room, or a
Yes,
wall of portraits?
yeah. There's this house is full of portraits of former family members and current family members.
She'll take the scrap and find a spot on the wall where there's family members, and she'll take a pin out of her hair, and she'll pin it onto the wall, and she'll turn and Mother, the sea wants us to remember. The sea brought our sister back. I don't wish to offend the sea in this way by pretending, looks at Uncle, that things that exist don't exist. So here our sister is among the family like it should be. And then she'll just sit back down and open up her book again.
Very well, Mallory. You make an excellent point. Yes, Cordelia. I'm sorry we can't give you a more celebratory welcome. This is still quite a shock, but of course I am glad you're all right. And this is your home for as long as you should need it.
Yes, well, we should have a celebration. We are a family.
Yes. What kind of celebration have you in mind?
We should have a tomorrow a family dinner. Father and you, the sister and brother and cousin.
All right.
And we should have
That's
a good meal. You're good at party planning, correct?
yes. Back in my day, I concocted quite brilliant celebrations for the family. And you can see that she's kind of rubbing her hands together, and just sort of trying to think of a way to acquiesce to your wishes without bringing her husband into this. But she can't quite figure out a way to do that yet. She's kind of thinking, I'll play along with you can tell just by the expression on her face, I'll play along with this for now and see if I can wiggle out of this later.
Cordelia, you mentioned that you're married?
I was going to be married.
Oh.
I don't think she made it
Oh.
with me.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry.
The sea will bring her back to me.
Always seems to, doesn't it?
And it's at this moment that you hear another shattering knock on the door from the knocker.
Oh, she could be here now. Sorry, that was in poor taste.
Brother's humor is almost humor.
Compared to you, maybe.
Oh, that's not for me. It's ill-fitting and just prevents us from knowing the truth of our tragedy.
Oh my
Should I
God.
get the door? And just
Yes,
starts
dear.
walking towards the door.
Well, while she's doing that, Cordelia, I know plenty of young artists in London who I believe would love to recapture your visage if this is ever unsatisfactory. And I'll gesture to the portrait on the wall.
We should have a family portrait done of all of us together.
Sure. Long sip.
All of us together, including mother and her husband.
I look pointedly at my mom. Yes, and her husband.
Yes, Marina sort of looks down into her glass for a long moment and then just downs it all.
Who, speaking of, I'm sure would be thrilled to hear of Cordelia's return.
I can't wait to.
While this is going on, Mallory, do you open the door?
With once again opening the door. She does not like the door, but she opens it.
Before you see a skeletal figure bedraggled in seaweed. Hair is seaweed, clothes are seaweed, and the eyes are just empty sockets with two sea green lights blaring out. And you hear a voice say, "I'm here for my fiancé."
Mallory closes the door.
Immediately, you start to hear pounding on the doors, skeletal limbs start to scratch at the wood, and you hear pieces of wood splintering off.
Mallory, darling, are you all right?
Sigmund, could I bother you, dearest brother, to, as quickly as possible, join me at this door? If you happen to have any weapons on the way, please definitely grab them.
I immediately like put my glass down and go to her.
Um, this is hard to explain. There is some sort of skeletal creature from the sea who
Hmm.
is claiming to want their fiance. Eyes over to the drawing room. Um, yes, and that's where we're at right now.
Right, I'm very drunk. Uh,
You
all
do
right,
some of your best work when you're very drunk.
yeah, I think I just look at the door and is like mentally just like, nope, and I just like put a hand on Mallory and like guide her back. Um, you know, this is what we have Uncle for, isn't it? Doesn't he handle these sort of things?
We could try. Mallory's actually kind of looking around the drawing room, looking for something, say, heavy that would break bones, just to
Mm,
have.
yeah, that's a good idea.
Or,
I think
you know, assuming this isn't horrible and this is just how people in our family are now, tell Cordelia.
I would like to have something heavy and then tell Cordelia.
Yeah, that's probably for the best, yes.
I think you see a silver lampstand that's sort of in a really tasteless imitation of a dolphin.
Oh, yes, no. I've been wanting to destroy this for a while. She'll pick it
Yeah.
up. Her brawn is nothing, so her little noodle arms probably are struggling with it a bit, but she feels better with it.
Mhm.
And then I think she'll stand next to Sigmund as they approach Cordelia.
This fiance of yours, what did you say her name was?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Someone's certainly here.
Did she have eyes?
Yes.
Hmm. I just want to prepare you. There are no eyes.
Or it's not her. Or it is and a great deal has changed.
Ah,
Cordelia just gets up and goes to the door to see what's going on.
Mailer will follow behind carrying this thing that is too heavy for her.
Cordelia, you can see that the door is starting to splinter apart, and just a little flash of white bone is starting to be visible through a hairline crack in the door.
Oh,
Opening
shit.
it. I'm opening the
Oh,
door.
not the door.
Yeah, um, you see this awful skeletal figure drenched in water, covered in seaweed, but you recognize a cameo brooch tied around the figure's neck, and it is exactly the same as one that you gave to your fiancee Elizabeth as an engagement present.
Elizabeth, you've returned.
You must return to the sea with me. And she reaches out her skeletal arms and starts to and wraps them around your neck.
Are we seeing this?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Nope, that's what I was wanting to not happen. I'm gonna get in between them and just try to separate.
All right, give me a roll. Should be
Oh.
brawn, but you can. But I should mention that you can use any trait dice, but if you get a success on a matching die, that I think that counts as 2 successes.
Okay. So how many am I rolling?
Um, depends on. I think it'll probably be 2 dice for this one.
Okay.
Probably not a supernatural effort, but also more than just an ordinary.
Yeah. And if I use an asset, that's another die.
Yes.
I'm gonna use my arrogance.
Oh,
That feels apt.
Yeah. So I could deal with a sea skeleton. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, one of them fell. Okay. That is 2 2s and a 3.
All right. Unfortunately, that is not a success.
Okay.
So the skeletal figure keeps one hand around Cordelia's neck, takes another, and bats you out of the way. And you take a hit of damage. Now you can either just take that hit, or you can spend one of your trait dice or your assets, I believe, to absorb the damage.
I'll take it.
Cool. All right. So, yeah, you have a nasty cut across your shoulders and lower neck, uh, as the skeleton's sharp nails rake across you.
And forgive me, how do I mark that? Just like one of the bronze or
Um, I believe that damage is just a sort of nebulous thing that
gotcha.
we decide when you've taken enough damage to be knocked out or killed.
Gotcha. Okay,
So
beautiful.
yeah,
Okay.
just yeah, you've been hurt somewhat.
Yeah.
Mallory is seeing her brother hurt and her new sibling. This is, as much as she's like, we should return to the sea, this is very immediate and violent and not how she imagined it. I think at first, this is not the smartest thing, but her first instinct is if she can get around since the skeleton seems to be focused, she'd like to get around with the heavy thing, and she thinks about lifting it. Cannot. She has no brawn, but she does have a small silver knife as one of her assets. So instead, she wants to try, and being the avid reader that she is, she's like, she wants to try like the base of the neck, see if she can like do some spinal damage.
Excellent. All right. Yes, please roll for me, and that'll be 2 dice to start off with, because it's not magic. But unless you want to exert an extraordinary effort for this, and you can also add your asset if you want for an extra
Yeah,
die.
this is already gotten a little out of hand. This
Yeah.
is an extraordinary effort. She technically is outside the manor at this point. If she's on the other side of the door, she's not happy. So this is an extraordinary effort. Oof, okay, equal
Yeah.
dice.
Oh, apologies. I've got it the other way around. So extraordinary effort is 2 dice, and then supernatural
Oh,
effort is 3 dice.
oh,
That's
okay.
my bad.
I don't think we're supernatural yet, so I'll do 2.
Cool.
While this is happening, I'll just like look at Uncle and be like, whenever you feel like helping.
There's just
That's a 2 and a
this
4.
doddery 90-year-old man is just like
2 and a 4.
2 and a 4, so that's 1 success. Yes, you managed to sneak past this skeleton, get right to the base of the neck, and stab in with your little silver knife. And the skeleton, you can see that the kind of the sinew that is keeping the spinal column intact has been severely slashed. So the head is now slightly kind of lolling on the base of the neck, but is still attached. And Elizabeth, you assume, takes her hands off of Cordelia's neck, swings around and directly, and turns to face you and tries to push you onto the ground. So could you please give me a roll? I will say it's a brawn roll, but you can use any of your trait dice, but you probably won't be able to crit if you don't have any brawn dice.
Yes. Yeah, I'm taking a quick look at my assets. Okay. Let me look at no. Oh. So with no, it would be no roll, correct? She would just get pushed over.
You can roll any of your traits, but you can roll dice of any color or type, but
Right.
6s count as 2 successes if the dice color matches the type of action. So you could still get successes, but you wouldn't be able to get 2 successes in one from a 6.
Right. Okay. Well, if she used her curse of the shroud to kind of mist herself, because actually the one thing she can do is she can turn her body into mist momentarily.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yeah. So, yeah, she'd like to try to do that.
Nice. Yeah. So you have to roll 3 dice, and that would be a weird roll.
Okay.
And then if any of your weird dice come up as 6, then that would count as 2 successes.
No, but I got a 3, 4, 5.
Excellent. 2 successes. Excellent. So yes, please describe to me what it looks like as you manage to mist your way out of this out of the way.
I think it is more like it's not even totally conscious. I think she just like is like, no, no to this. And she just kind of like the farther away from her core, the more misty it gets. And then just the core is just enough so like say a hand would pass through her. And she just kind of like there's almost a sea salt mist in the air for a second where Mallory was, and then would recoalesce as the hand like would come back, the hand that was trying to push her.
Perfect. All right. So yes, Cordelia, do you have anything that you want to do in this moment?
I am going to try to rip the necklace off of Elizabeth.
Nice. All right. Please give me a brawn roll.
Do any of us have any brawn? Why are we trying this?
Good question. No,
I got-
no. Do none of us have brawn?
I have 0.
Ron.
we're a fragile family. We spend
Yes.
time
We're
in
just
the
these
library.
Victorian waifs.
Someone will be tough for us.
Oh my god.
Yeah. All right. You can still get a success. It just means that you can't crit.
Okay, can I
You can use any weird dice or guile dice that you have up, so you can do a 1 roll, which has no chance of going wrong, 2 dice roll, or a 3 dice roll, and those have increasing chances of rolling a double, which will mean that you lose one of your trait dice.
okay. So I did I lose a trait dice earlier when I got the 2 ones?
Yes, that would have you would have lost a dice if you got 2 ones. Yeah.
And what trait would have I lost that in?
I think that would have been guile.
Okay. So I'm going to just, well, I guess I'm just going to use 2 dice, and I'm going to try guile again.
All right, go for it.
It's kind of, I have an asset of clever girl, so I'm going to try to, while the skeleton is distracted, I guess.
Yeah. Try and do it sneakily. That makes sense.
So now I'm down to 2 dice. Okay, I got 2 6s.
2 6s. So that is a double, but that is also a crit. So you lose another trait die, but you do manage to do it.
It's very gothic. It's very gothic.
Yeah, but if you want to regain trait dice, you can indulge in your desire. So once this fight is over, you might have a chance to kind of take some relaxation time and indulge in your desire to get one of these dice back. So please describe to me what it looks like as you snatch this this choker off the skeleton.
As Elizabeth is a little bit distracted with, the misty happenings and hurting my sibling, which I'm not happy about, I just reach and I just grab I'm going to say that there's probably some kind of jewel or cameo thing in the center. I'm just going to grab it and yank as hard as I can, which is not very hard because I'm frail enough to see.
Yeah, the choker with the cameo on it comes apart in your hands, and you hold the little gem at the center, and that seems to dispel the effect on this skeleton, and the bones start to crumble and fall, and so all that is left is a pile of stinking salty seaweed on the doorstep of the manor.
Cordelia is going to watch that and just start crying and like kneel down and look at the seaweed. It's like, Elizabeth.
Oh, I'm sorry, dear. And I'll go and put a hand on your shoulder.
Do you want me to gather up the seaweed? I have a box.
Mallory.
I-
one
I-
second.
This is one of those I'm not good at things.
Just give her a moment.
I was trying to help. Okay, but Simon, I was trying to help.
Yeah,
You said I should
know,
like
you're-
try to help people more, and
Yes.
I thought that was like a pretty good effort.
Yes, good instinct. Just
Yeah.
timing.
Oh, I will not get a box for your seaweed.
No,
And
well,
she gives Sigmund like this smile, like she did a good thing.
Anyway. And I'll just sit with Cordelia for a moment.
Yeah, Mallory, you're not helping. She's just sobbing more. Holding the seaweed in her hands.
And loud enough so that Cordelia will hear it, but no one else. This is what this place does. This is what this family does. This is why I want nothing to do with this.
We don't have a choice.
But we do, is the wonderful thing. We do. We always do.
It's just going to bring us back here.
I don't think so.
And it's going to punish us. It took Elizabeth.
Oh dear. There are a great many things beyond these walls. I'm going to stand up. Mother, a word with you, please?
Marina comes out of the drawing room and looks at the scene in front of her and goes, "Oh, goodness, what? I heard ungodly noises. Oh, yes, Sigmund, darling, of course.
Yes, in private.
Yes, yes, please come to my study."
Mm-hmm.
And she leads you to her private study with a beautiful little antique desk with the sort of folding tabletop, and gestures for you to take a seat on an armchair as she sits on a desk chair.
And I've been bleeding onto my shirt this whole time. Do you have a napkin of any sorts?
Oh goodness. Oh, I'm sorry, darling. Yes, and she takes out a handkerchief from her pouch and sort of dabs it ineffectually on you.
Yeah, I've got it. Thank you. Christ.
Yes. Is there what would you like to talk to me about?
Why not just introduce her to father? It could fix everything.
It could fix everything, but it could make things worse.
How?
I don't know.
No, go on.
I'm still ashamed of keeping it from him. And I can't. And she just sort of, as she kind of struggles to find the words, you just see a tear starting to roll down her cheek.
Well, listen, you'd better get over it fast. You wouldn't let me fix a mistake that you forced me to make. And I will not be letting that happen a second time, especially when the opportunity to heal years of wounds is finally here with us. If you don't do something, I might just have to.
Sigmund, darling, please don't do anything rash. We have to be careful about this. Everything could unravel so fast.
Maybe that's for the better.
All right. Tomorrow morning, we will introduce your father to Cordelia. As long as we prepare her for what she will encounter.
Thank you. And I
All
am
right.
sorry, I know this is a lot, but that's the thing with secrets. They always come back, don't they?
You are quite right. Very well. I think I should have some rest after all this excitement.
Yes, you've been through so much this evening.
Well, I'm not saying that I'm the only one who's been through a lot, but I have to recognize, you have to recognize my trials in this situation.
Yes,
And
I
she just
suppose I do. And I just like move the cloth and just the blood stain growing across my very expensive shirt.
yeah, and she's just not looking at it at all. She's just sort of muttering to herself as she exits the room and
As
starts.
she's leaving. Your expectations have done a lot to Mallory and I, Mother. I won't let them affect Cordelia as well.
I don't know what you could mean by that, and I am not going to dignify it with a full response at the current time. Thank you, Sigmund. And she just starts heading up the stairs.
So I'm going to say outside, Cordelia is like talking to the seaweed, like, Elizabeth, please come back. I just don't hurt my brother. And she's taking the cameo and like putting it on the seaweed.
Oh no.
I think Mallory kind of crouches down and trying to be comforting. She is, this is why our family needs to fade. Every time we try, it's just more pain. And I don't want that for myself. And I don't want any more for you. And I don't want any for my brother. He doesn't know. He hasn't had this. That's why hope still lives in his chest. And it's a danger. It's a danger. Fires don't burn when the wood is wet. And it's almost like she'll like put a hand on Cordelia's shoulder as if this is maybe the most comforting thing she could have said.
I just want to bring her back.
So did the sea. We are meant to go, not come back.
We always come back.
Maybe when we're gone, we'll be gone. Do you want to come in? Do you want to come inside, Cordelia? I will not offer a box. I was told that was unacceptable, but we can gather. We could take her back to the beach.
Yes, let's see if the sea will forgive me.
Marley will help gently gather up the seaweed, and I imagine there's probably kind of a winding path from the manor to the cliffs down to like the rocky, there's not sand, it's the smallest thing is still a sharp rock by the sea, and she'll kind of carry this, but like let Cordelia take the lead once they get to the sea.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you make your way down this winding path, and you hear the last cries of a couple of seagulls before they settle into their nests for the night. And yeah, you make your way to the rocky beach that is covered in pebbles and sharp boulders, and occasionally there's a little rock pool with small sea life secreted inside. And yeah.
Cordelia is going to take some of the seaweed and just kind of toss it out at his sea and say, "You'll always be in my heart, Elizabeth."
Are you keeping the cameo
Yeah.
choker? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you throw the seaweed out into the sea, and immediately the tide seems to skip a beat. It kind of, the rhythm of the tide desynchronizes for a second so that it immediately pulls the seaweed back out into the deeper water.
Cordelia's just going to sob again. She's been sobbing a lot. You don't know if it's seawater or tears or rain. It's not raining, but you don't know.
Mallory will, after having given Cordelia a time, will kind of gather her up a bit. In fact, she'll take off. She has a bit of a shawl, and she'll just drape it over Cordelia and kind of guide her back up the trail, realizing that she probably shouldn't say anything. She cannot help in this way, but she'll be there, and she understands the sea taking or trying to take things. So she'll just kind of guide Cordelia back up into the manor if she lets Mallory.
Yes. Thank you, sister.
Sister. Yes, I do like that. She's trying not to smile again because that's a hopeful thing, but there is a part of her that does like that very much. Like something that was missing returned. Thank you, sister. Let's go find brother. I'm sure his conversation with mother is going to be a calm one and nothing to be concerned about.
I think, yeah, you return, and
Hear me
Sigmund,
slamming her door behind me.
yeah,
Yeah.
you meet
It's
up
going
in
about
the
the way
corridor.
Mallory assumed it would. Yeah. She's
Yeah.
like, mm-hmm. Yep. And then, yep.
Yeah, you hear your mother's door slamming closed.
Do we see Sigmund coming out? Like, do we kind of meet as we're kind of coming in?
Sure. Yeah.
Brother, how did the conversation go?
Never you mind that. Cordelia, are you all right?
Yes. A bit out of sorts.
Of course, I understand. I'm very sorry.
I'm sorry she hurt you.
Oh, it's nothing. Don't. I can always get another.
I
You
read
know
a
what?
book
I
about. Oh, I did read a book about battlefield medicine. It was very relaxing. I could try. Mother does have a sewing kit somewhere. I would
really,
be happy.
it's really
So
not
you
that
want?
bad. It
I
stopped bleeding.
uh I have been wanting to try that out, but I'm glad you're healed.
Fun new scar story for parties.
Parties. Like her face just falls at parties.
Speaking of, do you know what I think would be wonderful? If all right, Mallory, don't say anything. I'm only here for the weekend. How would the two of you like to join me in London?
May I say something now?
If you must.
No.
Right, I knew what you were going to say. Cordelia.
If I leave, I just end up back here.
Oh, you're already so similar. Listen, it doesn't have to be for very long. Just visit me for a weekend sometime. I'll show you all the spots. We can go shopping. You can come see one of my shows. I can introduce you to some friends. It's so much nicer than here. There's actual sunlight occasionally.
How do we travel there?
Oh, I have a carriage. Come and get me occasionally.
I will accompany you to meet people.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I'm very glad to hear that. That's it's very exciting.
Sister,
Mallory,
come as well to meet people.
People
it would be fun.
outside. I
Please, sister, I need
no.
you. Please.
Oh, don't say please, sister. That's quite unfair. I am not supposed to leave here. Anytime I leave here, or really any of us leave here, it is
You're
only tragedy and pain.
to.
Yeah.
Supposed to. There aren't any rules written up on a board somewhere.
We have to come
And yet,
back. We can't just. We'll come back, but can you please come?
Yes,
So I'm
of
not.
course, a short visit. Yes.
Mallory is feeling a lot of sibling pressure right now, and you can tell like she is almost just like disassociating, like she's staring out and she's seeing all the things that could go wrong. Absolutely, like yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry, no. Sigmund has never had someone to back him up on this before.
Yes, this is being extra effective, and Mallory does not like it.
Yeah.
We always do return. If you're willing to pay the price, whatever the price may be,
I have money.
I'm not going to ruin this. I'm not going to ruin this. Okay.
At her.
Yes.
At the cameo, and it's like, I'm willing to pay.
Mallory in her head goes, she gets it. Just almost as if Mallory feels like this is going to happen whether she wants it to or not. Like she's starting to feel like the pull of fate. Okay, then this will happen. This is going to happen. It is happening.
I hug you both.
Oh, okay, yes. This is absolutely something to be celebrated. You feel her shiver a little. Just like,
yes, Mallory, you're going to love it. I promise. I'm so glad this is finally. Yes.
Cordelia does not freeze out this hug like she did the one from her mother.
And Maddie, I restore a die, right?
Yeah, because your desire is like to live in London and have a successful time with your I think that counts as indulging your desire.
I get my arrogance back.
Excellent. Okay. And also, I was just checking on your character sheet, Janie, and I noticed that your desire was to see your wife again.
Yeah.
So,
oh
no. So would you like to keep that, or would you like to change the desire to something else? Because you don't have to actually, it doesn't have to actually come true. You have to indulge it in order to get your dice back.
Yeah, I think I need to change that because I don't think I'll be able to.
I mean, it technically happened.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think I'll say you can have one die back from it, even though it happened when your wife was there.
Oh no!
But I think you've lost 2 so far. So yeah, if you want to come up with a different desire at some point soon, then just let me know and we can.
I just need a few minutes. I'll come up with something else.
Perfect.
My wife again, because that's possible.
All right. So yes, I think as plans for the future have been tentatively made and our siblings are reunited for the moment, I think it's time to take a short break. And we'll be back in 10-15 minutes for more of this spooktacular game of The Curse of the House of Rookwood, Blood Will Out. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon. Goodbye. welcome back. We are back from our break and we're about to jump back into this game of The Curse of the House of Rookwood with our wonderful players in our little mini series Blood Will Out. So, now that we have dispatched a sea spirit of some kind and planned a little field trip to London, what do you all want to do? It is now relatively late on in the evening, so you could start heading to bed uh, and preparing for the following day. Or if there's any other business that you want to take care of, just let me know.
I think I'm gonna go to bed. I think I'm gonna, if we have laundry, I'm gonna drop off my bloodstained clothes there and then go to bed.
Nice. Yeah.
I think Mallory likes to read a little late into the night, so she'll pick out a couple of the most depressing tomes she can find in the library, because she just really needs to get back in the zone, and then she'll just carry those up with a couple extra candles.
Excellent. And Cordelia, what's your plan?
I'm going to stare out of my window for a while into the darkness, out at the sea. And then I'm going to turn my light off, and the room is just going to be shrouded in darkness.
I am also, before I go to bed, I'm going to write a letter to a certain someone in London and just update him on everything, and then I'll go to bed.
Nice. All right. So at say midnight, 1 a.m, would Mallory's candle still be lit?
Yes.
All right. So as you are leafing through the latest deeply depressing tome,
Yes.
discovering something about a particularly fatal disease
Yes. Yes.
involving maggots.
She's been deep in the medical section lately.
Yeah. As you are reaching a particularly unpleasant passage, you hear the sound of a tap on your window.
She takes a breath in and continues reading.
After a few moments, there's another tap, and you manage to catch it this time with your gaze, and you see that a small rock has just hit your window.
Okay. She'll another breath, close the book slowly, put it on the table very slowly, walk over to the window, and with another breath, look out into the darkness.
You look down, and you see a young man standing at the base of the house. And Sigmund, could you please describe Josiah for me?
Oh God, why is he here? Why is he here? Okay. Shit. Wow. Okay. Okay, I'm normal. It's fine. Josiah is a shorter young man. Sigmund is about like 5'11", and I would say Josiah is like 5'7", 5'6". But he's very pale, like curly, dark brown hair, brown eyes, a couple of freckles, just very like sweet and friendly looking. Not dressed nearly as fancy or rich as Sigmund. Yeah.
And yeah, as this young man looks up at you, you can see him mouth through the window, "Sorry, wrong room."
Is this a window that can open?
Yeah, you can open the window.
She opens the window. Hello. Are you a ghost or a spirit or sort of skeleton fiance?
I'm a fiance, but I'm not a skeleton. I mean,
well, there's no unfianced here, not anymore. This is probably the wrong manner.
I'm I'm so sorry. I thought that Sigmund would be up
Oh
late.
wait,
Sig-
Sigmund. Oh, you know a Sigmund too. That is very interesting. We do have a Sigmund here, but I'm his sister, and if he was fianced, I would know. So unfortunately, you're at the wrong manor.
the the briny cliff estate, Rookwood. Are you sure this is not the place?
1 second. She slams the window down, opens her door, and goes to Sigmund's room.
Oh my god.
She knocks, but opens the door at the exact same time she's knocking. Mhm.
What? What?
Hello, hello,
Hi.
hello,
What are you doing?
brother,
What? What?
brother, my
What?
brother without a fiance. You
What?
found one. Well, one has
I'm
found you.
I'm sorry. Back the fuck up. What? What?
Hello,
I
hello,
just
brother.
I've been awake for seconds, Mallory.
Yes, this has been quite a shock to you. Um, Turns out you have a fiance, and they're at my window throwing rocks. I've told them
I,
that there must be a mistake because there is
that,
absolutely no world in which I would not know that you were to be married.
right, of course.
Yes. So why don't you come with me to the window and you can tell this
Um,
very nice young man that no.
why don't better idea?
Mm,
You return to your room.
I see.
I I will go outside and
Mm.
speak to this mysterious person personally, and you don't have to worry yourself
No,
with
I
that.
think
You
you
can,
should come with me. And she kind of does like the hand on her shoulder. You should come to me, to my bedroom, at my window. This is where this started. Now I'm involved.
please just let me go talk to him.
I just need you to say something to him from the window, from my window, and then you can go.
What does it matter?
It matters to me and my window.
All right. Okay. I like
You know the way.
before I leave my room, I like check to make sure my hair is nice, and then I go.
Oh, Mallory doesn't like that. That's serious.
All right, so you go through to Mallory's room. Um I assume one of you opens up the window again, and the young man is
Hello.
still down there.
Hello down there, young man. I
Hello.
have, yes, I have a Sigmund for you.
Oh, good. Thank you.
And then disappears out the window.
Good evening.
Sigmund. Oh, thank goodness. I'm sorry. I assumed that you would be up the latest, and I didn't want to disturb. Can we talk quickly?
Yes, I'll be right down.
Great. Thank you. I'm
Pulls
sorry.
Sigmund out, closes the window. Ah, you do know him.
I
Go
do.
ahead.
Please don't listen in on us.
I do not wish to. I've heard everything I need to. Go live your folly for as long as it exists.
I'll explain after. It's
I
nothing personal. I was going to introduce you.
I mean, I do know him now.
I'll be back.
All right, so you head down the stairs to the front door, which is still partly splintered from the earlier debacle. And you head outside and you meet up with Josiah, who immediately rushes up to you and says, I'm sorry, I know I shouldn't have come
What
unannounced, but
what
it
are
was
you
an
doing here?
emergency.
Are
I
you all right?
I'm fine. It's just that I foolishly decided to take my coin purse with me when I went into town, and I was set upon by a ruffian of some kind who took all of the money, and
Rosie.
uh,
You're,
I
you're, you're all right, though. You're not hurt.
and I just I panicked and I handed over the money as quickly as I could so that they wouldn't hurt me.
Good. Good.
But yes, I didn't know what to do, and I didn't have any money for food the next day. So I came here because I knew that you would be here. I I prevailed upon the kindness of a coach master who is expecting some kind of repayment at some point.
Yes, yes, of course. I'll handle all of it. I didn't. I should have left you with more. I'm sorry.
No. It was my fault. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have been so careless.
It's complicated before our sets are combined, but I'm I'm glad to see you. I just was hoping to be able to tell my family a little more gently.
Yes. Yes. I realize that now. All right. What? It's late. Should I come? I don't want to invite myself in. That's terribly rude.
No, but I would like you to come upstairs. If you wouldn't mind sneaking out in the morning.
All right, I'll do my best, and then, yes, then introduce myself more. Or I could just sneak out and head back to London if that would be.
I think yes. Is your coachman here? Is he coming in the morning or?
I think he's still here. Yes, just further
Okay.
down the track.
Oh, show me. I'll pay for it.
Yes, he leads you down the sort of the winding track, which would not accommodate a coach and horses, and to
Yeah.
the very edge of the estate where the coachman is
And
waiting.
I like quickly realize that like I didn't think I'd be interacting with another person, so I don't have my gloves. So I like look at my transparent fingers and I just hand Josiah the money so that he can pay the guy
Mhm.
and stick my hands in my pockets.
Yeah, and Josiah sort of heads forward and completes the transaction successfully,
Mhm.
and so is the plan for Josiah to
You
stay for tonight and then come back, or
you don't have to sneak out. I would hate to make you do that, but I mean, no one's going to go into my room, but I wouldn't want you to have to stay there. I mean, it might be better for you to go back home.
yes, I understand.
Stay for tonight. Stay for tonight.
Okay, all right. Thank you. I'm so sorry. This is just I'm just can't do anything right these days.
No, darling, please don't. And I'm gonna take his hands. Like it's all right. It was going to happen eventually. It's just my sister. Luckily, I can talk to her and make sure my mother doesn't find out, and we'll be fine.
Yes, and I'll stay tonight. I'll head home tomorrow, and then we can find some nice way to let them all know gently,
Yes,
as you wish.
yes.
Great,
And
perfect.
I'll take him back up to my room, and once we're in there, I do need to talk to Mallory, so I'll be right back.
Of course, no problem. And he heads into your room.
And I'll go back to Mallory.
She's in the room pretending to read. She's been pretending to read this entire time, trying real hard.
Right. So, his name is Josiah. We've known each other for about 3 years. We've been engaged for about 2.5 months. I was going to tell you. I don't want to tell Mother.
I think she'll like close the book, put it on the table. So it's as I feared.
Yes.
You are bringing someone else into the Rookwood madness, and you care for them, which is even worse.
I'm not bringing him into the Rookwood anything. He's going to be keeping his own name, and in London, I am Sigmund Wisteria.
I love that you think just making up a fake name will work. That's adorable, and it's one of the things I love about you, my lovely, lovely younger brother. He will be part of the family. When you're married, you're part of the family.
He will be part of
And
my family, yes.
this, but then the sea reaches the family. You love him. I can tell. I can see it in your eyes, Sigmund, and that's why this hurts more. That's why I can't just brush this off. That's why I'm scared.
I've been around this house and the sea all my life, and it has yet to take anything from me.
You're the lucky one. But luck runs out, and you know this.
That's why
You
I
know our
intend to keep
family.
going.
Our sister just came back from the sea.
Yes, and that was a very fortuitous occasion.
And then her fiance came back from the
That
sea.
that was less fortuitous, but
They are connected. That is all part of the same event.
right, and that's why I'm going to London away from the sea.
You can see Mallory wants to continue this argument. You could see
And
that
that's why I'm taking you and Cordelia with me.
Sigmund and she like
Just
puts
for
a
a
hand out.
weekend. Just for a weekend.
Sigmund, no, it's not about me. I don't want you to get hurt. The way that many of us have been, and now you've involved love, and that's the most dangerous thing, and that's the thing the sea can take the most. I can't stop you, and I know that. But I can't be happy, and I can't rest. Because I know it's, we know when the axe is about to fall, it's the moment before the axe falls that's the hardest.
Mallory, I wish you'd try to look at things a little more positively.
And I wish you had read some more of those history books. I
So
won't tell
boring.
Mother. I won't tell Mother. That's not going to do it. It won't change anything. I just enjoy it while you can, okay? Maybe
I
you can,
will. I very much am.
and then I will be here when it falls apart. And we can stay here in this manner and watch the sea take us.
You don't need to protect me, Mallory, and you don't need to protect yourself in this way. Life is hard sometimes, yes, but just dreading things doesn't help anyone.
Hope is more dangerous.
And yet more beautiful.
Good night, Sigmund. I have more reading to do. And she will take the book and she opens it again.
You and Josie will see more of each other in the city. I think you'll like him quite a lot. He made me this, and I take off the copper wire ring.
She just glances up as briefly as she can. And then she goes back to reading.
He's a poet. I'll get you some of his poetry. And I go back to my room.
I would just like to ask Cordelia, do you think you would have been woken up by all this kidding? And
Yeah.
would you have heard any of this?
Yes, I think I would have heard it.
Would you have been listening at the door for any of this, or would you have stayed in your room and tried to listen from there?
No, I would have my glass to the door.
Nice. Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. All right. So everyone gets back to bed, and unless anyone has anything else that they'd like to do, the night passes, and the sort of sickly grey morning light starts to seep in through the shutters, and the new day begins at Rookwood Manor, on the Briny Cliff estate. And yes, the day is yours. So, what would you all like to do?
Help Josiah sneak out.
Yeah. Please give me a guile roll.
Oh, I'm good at that. How many dice do you think?
I would say probably 2. And
Okay.
I would just like to remind you that there are the family resources that you can use to add dice to your roll as well. You can. you can spend a family resource once per session for a reroll after a roll, or for an auto success before a roll. And that's also how assets work. So apologies, I might not have caught that previously.
Okay.
Oh, to like interrupt.
All right. Sleight of hand couldn't help me here, right? Because it's a person.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay. This is worth a shot. I don't know. I'm a magician. 6 and a 3.
Nice. All right. So yes, that is a success. Perfect. So yeah, I think the way that we'll rule this is that Cordelia, you were hoping to catch them as they snuck out in the morning, but they managed to do it just before you wake up.
Mhm.
So you're disappointed as you open the door and peek into Sigmund's room and see that only Sigmund is there.
Yeah. And I would have given him some more money before he left.
Yeah. So yeah, and he trudges out of the house to find the nearest inn where he can get a new coach back to
Yeah.
London.
Yeah. Cordelia, good morning.
Good morning. I thought this was my room. I'm sorry.
Oh, perfectly all right. How did you sleep?
I slept fine.
Great.
So quiet last night.
Yes, very.
I can't believe I got turned around like this. I just thought this was my room.
Happens to the best of us. Can I tell what she's doing?
You could go another guile roll to see if you can sort of figure out.
Yeah. 2 and a 5.
Perfect. All right. So that's another success on the 5. Yeah, you can just kind of tell by the insinuation in her voice that she knows that Josiah was here.
Please don't say anything.
Who would I say anything to?
Perfect. Wonderful. Great. Beautiful. Yes.
I think Mallory got up a little early, and she does this occasionally where she'll walk down to the beach, to the sea, and she tries to talk to the sea, um, trying to get answers, or at least a timeline. And I think it's time she finds like a rock, and she dusts it off and sits on it, and the mist kind of gathers up around her, and it kind of joins with like that morning sea mist. And she's there, and she's like, why does this have to be this way for my brother? Is there anything I can give you to let at least him, just him, just him? I know the rest of us will return, and I understand that was a deal that was made years ago, not by us, but I know that doesn't matter when you talk about fate. But like, but I haven't. I'll stay here. I will stay here. I will make sure that we return. But there has to be a way. And that's just her kind of, she's like just talking out, kind of low whispering. And then she'll stop a bit and she'll think and she'll start talking again.
All right. If you like, you could make a weird roll.
Absolutely.
With
Absolutely.
three dice, and if you like, you could use if you could either re-roll or get an auto success by using the favors from the sea family resource.
She's definitely like an auto success for some sort of communication.
All right. So yes. So the favors from the sea resource is used up for this session, but it will be back by next session. So yes, so what is it? Is there any particular kind of ritual that you do, or you're just kind of just talking into the
Well,
briny
she
air?
does. She has this flask. It's actually one of her assets, but this is just flavor right now. She has this flask that she always fills with seawater and occasionally takes sips of, to almost like, if I'm more of the sea, I'll understand it more. I think there's always a part of her that would love for this not to happen, as much as she tries to resign herself to it. I think that's why she talks about it so much. So she's trying to understand it. So I think she takes a sip and she closes her eyes, and I think she tries to feel it through her own mist, like if she combines her mist with the sea mist and uses that to see if she can reach out and communicate. She's pretty misty down there, everybody. If you look down, you might not see her, or just a silhouette.
So yeah, you think the sea wind starts to tease your hair, as a small wind starts to blow, and yeah, you hear a very it's not quite a voice, but you understand that it is communicating something to you. It is like the sound that you hear when you put a seashell to your ear, but you can derive meaning from it. And you get the sense that the sea is telling you that you have already sacrificed everything for the family and for the sea. You have nothing left to give that would satisfy its need in order to keep Sigmund safe.
She hears that, and I think then she withdraws the mist back in, and she re-solidifies, and she jumps off the rock, and she goes right to the edge of the water, and she kicks at it, and she yells that that's not fair. That's not fair. How can I give everything and get nothing in return? I'm doing everything you want me to. And I don't accept this. I don't accept this. I don't accept this. I will make sure my brother at least has something. Maybe before it happens. Before it happens, I'm going to make sure that he has a lovely time. And when he returns, he'll have lovely memories. At least one of us will. You can't stop that. And she kicks at the water again and like soaks the bottom of her dress. You can't stop that. And she tries to pull herself together and walk back up to the manor.
Yeah, you don't hear anything else apart from the gentle lapping of the waves against the sharp rocks of the shore. So yeah, as you return to the manor, breakfast is being served in that same cold dining room. Uncle is shaking his way into the room with trays of toast and eggs and bacon and tea. What would you all like to do?
I have a question. So, Uncle in the past has always just like seemed to know everything, which is one of the main things Sigmund hates about this place is that there's no privacy. Do I get the sense looking at him that he knows that someone else was here last night?
Give me another guile roll to see if you can intuit.
Okay. I would like an auto success on this, if possible.
Yes. What asset or
Oh, I got 2 6s though, so maybe I don't need to do that.
and that is true, but if you've got a double, then you lose one of your trait dice.
And that wouldn't happen if I took an auto success?
Yes.
Oh, I'll lose a trait die. Let's keep it interesting.
So
I can get it
yeah.
back later.
Yeah, cool. So yes, on that success, you you get the sense that Uncle is looking at you with suspicion, which indicates that he knows that someone was here, but it seems that there's this element of confusion in his face, so you don't think that he knows what the relationship is per se.
Okay,
He just knows that someone was here who was not meant to be here.
cool. And
that
that
they
trait
have a
that
relationship with
trait
you.
die, does it have to be guile because that's what I rolled, or can I pick which trait die?
It's I think it has to be one of the dice that you rolled.
Okay, cool.
I may be wrong about that, but I can check later.
Cool.
Well, I'm for one. I'm ready for breakfast.
Yeah.
I'm already sitting down there um, at the table, just waiting for the family to show up.
So Marina comes into the room ready for breakfast, and she sits down and starts gathering all the various pieces of breakfast that she wants, and she says, I hope you all slept well.
Yes, Mother. Will your husband be joining us?
Oh, I was just about to say, I'm so sorry. He's not very well this morning, and I worry that too much excitement will set him back in his recovery.
I'll bring him a tray.
Okay. And she was like, her ruse has been foiled so easily. She's kind of exhausted by this, all this excitement, and she's not going to fight against it anymore. So
Might I accompany you, Cordelia?
Yes, Sigmund.
Thank you. And just like, I just, on our way out, I just like smile at Mom, like, nice try.
yeah, and you would know that in your mother's mind he is constantly unwell, so she
Right.
like that's not really an excuse.
Yeah. On our way there, listen, there is a level of validity to what Mother is saying. Mallory and I's father hasn't left his study in over a decade. I haven't been able to have a real conversation with him in quite some time, but my hope is that seeing you will clear up some things for him.
Why hasn't he left in a decade? What happened?
It's all complicated, but everyone has a different story.
Okay, I'll discuss it with Mallory.
Well, she knows as much as I do. But it shouldn't matter after this. I'm confident that seeing you will help him.
Well, let's see him.
So yes, you make your way to the study, which is in this little sort of turret of the manor house. You head up this winding spiral staircase and knock on the door and gently open it. And you can see a rather skinny, frail-looking man in his late 60s, hunched over a desk, scattered with quills and inkwells, and with ink splattered everywhere. And he is scribbling on a piece of paper, and if you peek over his shoulder, you just see the words "the lost child" over and over and over.
Father.
Yes. What is it?
It's me. It's Sigmund. How are you?
Sigmund? Excuse me. I can't quite recall.
I'll like kneel down next to his desk and take his hand. It's me.
Oh, yes. Yes. Sigmund, yes.
Yes.
Very well. I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of my work. I'm quite distracted. I need to finish this page.
Right, of course. If I could just have a moment, I have someone here who'd like to see you.
A visitor? That's quite unusual. All right. And he turns around in his chair and looks at Cordelia, and his eyes immediately go wide. And he goes, "The lost child."
I brought you breakfast. You should eat.
Father, this is Cordelia.
I don't understand.
You remember, yes.
I just know there was a child who was lost, but she is here. How can she be lost and here at the same time? That doesn't make any sense. And then he starts rummaging through drawers filled with pages and pages, and they all say the lost child on them.
Well, she's come home to us, Father.
Oh no, that can't be right. That can't be right. That's not how the story goes. That's not how it goes. Everything's
not.
always gone. Everything's always lost.
Still here, and Cordelia like steps forward with the tray, and gently will like put some papers aside and put the tray down.
I don't understand. This isn't right. This isn't right.
What story?
The story of the family story. I need to write it. I need to finish it. It's been so many years, but I can't find the words.
Well, Cordelia's here now. She's home.
But the lost child can never be found. That's not. I wanted to find her. I've tried to find her for so many years, but I couldn't.
Father, please, we've found her.
And he just kind of gazes into Cordelia's eyes and says, the eyes are wrong.
What?
The eyes, they're wrong.
They changed.
They changed.
I'm Cordelia. Cordelia, your wife's daughter. I've wanted to meet you for a long time.
My wife.
Can you introduce yourself, please?
I'm Algernon Rockwood.
Good.
Yes, I'm my wife.
Your wife, Marina?
Yes. Could I'm sorry to keep asking for the same roll, but could either or both of you give me a guile roll to see if you can kind of coax Algernon into some kind of equilibrium?
Yes.
2 and a 3.
Okay,
Dang.
good roll this time. A 4 and a 1.
4 is a success.
Okay.
Oh.
So, yes, Algernon sort of looks back into your eyes and goes, "Yes, I can see what they used to look like." And he kind of reaches out to kind of touch your face. Do you let him?
Yeah.
And he goes, "Whatever my wife did, it is not the fault of an innocent child." And then he sits down back in his chair and starts to gather up all the sheets of paper and throw them into the fire.
This is incredible. I didn't think this could ever happen.
Things still feel muddled. I don't quite know what is happening, but it feels as though something is a little clearer.
Yes.
Where is Mallory?
She's downstairs. We can take you to her.
Yes, I would like that very much.
I think I just hug him.
He hugs you back very tightly.
I'm so sorry.
What for?
This was... No, actually, it wasn't my fault. Never mind that. Well, let's go.
All right. Yes, I should like to have breakfast in the dining room as I used to. And yes, you head down the stairs. He's a little shaky on his feet because he's not been using those motor skills for very much apart from writing the same 3 words over again. So, but you help him down, and you enter into the dining room, and Marina, your mother, immediately sort of stands up quite violently, and her chair knocks to the ground and goes, "Algernon, what are you doing out of your room?" And he just kind of looks to you, Sigmund.
It would seem he no longer wishes to be locked in there.
It's time to eat breakfast, Mother.
Algernon, are you all right? And he looks at it and says, "Yes, Marina, I'm afraid I may not be entirely myself, but things are a little clearer than they have been in the past." And she's like, her eyes are darting from side to side, and she sort of focuses on him and goes, "That's good. That's good. All right. Yes, there's plenty here for everyone. Do take a seat." And she selects a seat for him, pulls it out, he sits down. And yeah, everyone starts to gather around for breakfast.
Sigmund just has like the biggest smile on his face. Like this is the happiest he's been in like a really long time.
Oh no.
What does Mallory say to all this?
I think that she has just been watching, and her eyes were very wide at first, but she hasn't said anything. And as everyone settles down, and she sees like the joy on Sigmund's face, and Cordelia with "let's have, breakfast, father," all of that. Um, in her head, it's like screaming. It's these are good things and that's bad. These are good things and it's bad. This is hope. This is hope, insidious hope. And everyone's smiling now, and it's just going to be so much worse when it all crashes down. And that's just racing in her head. But she doesn't want to ruin this for her siblings. They seem in a good they seem to have that hope in their eyes, at least as she interprets it. So she just stays quiet and just watches, but I think like her fists are keep clenching and unclenching, and she's almost hyper vigilant, waiting for that other shoe to drop, because this will surely be destroyed in some way or another, and she's just ready to clean it up when it does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So yes, Algernon isn't making much conversation. He's just enjoying his breakfast. And as this is going on, Uncle comes in with some letters on a silver tray, hands it to Marina, sort of looks at Algernon with surprise, but then composes himself and recedes back from the room, knowing that emotions must be repressed at all costs. And as Marina's looking through the letters, most of them are routine, nothing out of the ordinary. And then there's one whose handwriting she doesn't recognize. So she looks and opens it up. And she says, "Oh, it appears we are to have new neighbors very soon. Let's see now. Mr. Jeremiah Hound and his wife Amelia Hound are to be the new owners of Blackberry Manor. That is interesting. I suppose they will expect us to socialize with them as fellow landed gentry in the area, and it would be rude to deny them, especially since they announced their arrival so politely. What do you all think? What would be the best way to welcome them into the county?
You should invite them to the party.
Ah, yes, when your cousin and her parents wife return. Yes. Goodness, that would be a lot of people and strangers in the manor.
What a disaster.
She shoots you a dagger look and tries to compose herself.
Have they any children, Mother? Do you know?
It looks like it seems that they are newlyweds who are finding their first home together, and that Blackberry Manor is quite a lovely place, from what I remember. Haven't been there in decades at this point, so yes, perhaps some new friends will be nice.
We should start preparing for this party, Mother.
If you say so, dear. Yes, right. I am, despite having thrown some parties in my younger years, I'm quite rusty. Do tell me what you think we should prepare.
Oh, well, I thought you were the expert.
Well, I suppose we must come up with a menu and decide what drinks shall be served and decorations. Are decorations too gauche?
Mother,
I-
why don't you let me take this over?
If you promise that it is not too loud, if you understand my meaning.
I am capable of subtlety, contrary to popular belief.
All right. Yes, you may take the lead on this one, Sigmund. You are a young man after all. You are grown up and well capable of performing this duty.
I should like to see how my little brother does. And Cordelia looks younger than Sigmund, just so you all know.
Yeah. Mallory, you look thrilled.
Yes. More people in this
It'll be-
house.
It'll be good practice for London, dear.
Yes.
London?
Yes, Cordelia and Mallory have agreed to visit me in the city for a weekend.
That. Are you sure that's wise?
Yes.
We're going to see people, and then we're coming back.
I worry about, with our legacy, with the sea, that having too many members of the family away from the manor at one time might anger it.
Yes, I know you do worry about that, Mother.
And Cordelia, that I did warn you not to go on the sea.
We won't be traveling by sea. We're going by carriage.
Well, that is a small comfort.
And we're going to meet people. I'm going to introduce my siblings to people.
Right. Do you have connections in London?
Yes, several.
Quite. Well, I shall have to get used to this idea, I suppose.
I suppose you will.
I mean, you were without me for 25 years, so it shouldn't be that hard.
The empty nest.
Well, I should hope that all of you come back safe and sound, and make sure that you're here to help clean up after the party, that you don't rush off straight away.
Yes, this is just at the end of this visit. I'll be taking the two of them, and you'll have them back after the weekend.
All right. And yeah, you can see some cogs turning in her head about like, how can I stop this? How can I stop this? but she's like, I'll let this ride for now. I can't do anything right now.
Father, you're welcome to join us as well if you'd like.
Oh, no. He's much too frail for that.
I wasn't talking to you, was I?
And then Algernon turns to you and says, perhaps not this visit, but maybe the next.
Right, of course. Whenever you wish. My door is always open to you. And like puts emphasis on to you.
Brilliant. All right, so I think as breakfast starts to come to a close, party preparations may be underway. Is there anything specific anyone wants to do to try and make sure that this party is as swinging as it possibly could be?
I'm assuming that I have some dresses there for some reason, and I'm just looking through them and trying to find one for Mal.
I think or Megan, if you have anything, you should go first.
Oh, Mallory does. I wouldn't categorize this as making the party better, but in Mallory's head, she goes to her room with some paper and a pen, and she writes a message to, he said, Blackberry Manor,
Mhm.
unsigned, that reads, "Do not let the curse taint you too. Flee before it's too late. Do not enter Rookwood Manor, and do not breathe the salty air of the briny cliffs." And she just lets it like dry, folds it up, puts it in envelope, writes, and probably has to give it to Uncle. Yeah, she'll if you could just make sure this gets out as soon as possible.
Yes, Miss Mallory, of course. I
Thank
can make sure that happens.
It is critical for this party.
Very well.
Thank you. And having done what she thinks could possibly all she could do, I think she's kind of wandering around a bit lost. There's a lot going on that she's not super thrilled with, and she's trying to figure out how to get out of going to London, how to maybe stop Sigmund from going any farther with a relationship that will hurt him. Cordelia seems to be super like family, and she's worried about in her head. I think she's just kind of wandering around a bit lost, trying to figure out what else can she do to stop the absolute impending doom that is going to fall upon them.
Can I say Cordelia is looking for you with like this dress that you would never wear? It's like
Absolutely.
really
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot more stylish than something Mallory normally would wear.
Yeah, I think Mallory would just say, "Oh, Cordelia, that's a lovely dress. You will look lovely in that."
I've got it. I've got it out for you to wear.
Oh, for what? Just to be around the house. I don't need a fancy dress to be
No,
around the house. This suits me fine.
this is for the party, and we can style your hair differently.
Oh, okay. No, this is everything where it becomes covered in sea salt anyway, so I just wear this, and my hair is fine. Um,
I've
some
always,
say it's gotten a little greenish, but that's just the sea
I've always wanted
light
a
reflecting
sister.
upon it.
I've always wanted a sister to dress up with.
I see. And this is something that you've wanted for quite a bit.
Yes,
Perhaps something that would give you peace before the axe fell.
yes. I've
Christ.
worked this for a really long time.
Hmm. You deserve some happiness before. Okay, I will submit to it.
If I may, one last thing. I think I'm like in the study or like in the sunroom, whatever, and I'm like figuring out arrangements, like ordering food and things, and probably using some of my own expenses. I think if at any point I'm alone with Uncle, um, in the same way he did to me when I was 7 years old, I'm gonna look at him and just, and then go back to what I was doing.
He looks deeply disturbed, but knows that he cannot lay a hand on a member of the Rookwood family, so shuffles out of the room.
Damn straight.
It is not in his code, his programming. All right. So yes, the party preparations are underway. And I think it is a little early, but I feel like we've reached a natural point of conclusion for the story for this evening, because I don't want to get too close to the party before our fellow player comes back.
There's so much prep. Cordelia's gonna have to like how like a stiff like limbs like fighting every way into the dress. Ah. She's not doing it on purpose. She's like, no.
Colors.
Yeah.
Oh no. This isn't
there's
great.
definitely colors in this. It's probably like, I'm gonna say an emerald green.
Oh,
Nice.
I like that. That's gorgeous. I love it. I do.
Yeah.
Mallory's terrified.
It's all part of her plan.
I love it.
This is great.
Sorry, I'm just scrolling. I think before we close up, I think perhaps a messenger comes by from Blackberry Manor and knocks on the door and says that the Hound family will be moving in the next couple of days, and would also be delighted to invite the whole Rookwood family to visit Blackberry Manor in a week, in a couple of weeks when they've had a chance to settle in. So that invitation is open to you as well.
We're just gonna be besties.
This can go only well.
Really great.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, I think that's is probably going to conclude our adventure for this evening. So I would like to ask each of our players to let me know where we can find you on the internet, where we can find more of your wonderful faces and voices, and let's start off with Megan again.
Hello, I have been and still am Megan. You can find me online when the little link comes up. I have Murphy Pop at card, and that has all whatever the latest socials are. On Twitter, it's quite not. Everywhere else, it's usually Murphy Pop or Murphy Pop Art. I do a bunch of online stuff, but one of the ones I think you might all dig is I do a Monster of the Week podcast called $2 Creature Feature through Althaven. We release episodes every other week, and we just started our new season. New characters, new setting. You can jump right in. And here, instead of magic, it's more telekinesis because we're doing an X-Files. And they've let me be a feral shape-shifting alien. So
Hella.
that's their problem now.
Beautiful. All right, Julia, how about you?
Hello, everyone. My name is Julia Labouche. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, it is at QueenJulia_11. I'm also on Threads and Blue Sky. If you want to hear me sing, I have a YouTube channel. That's just my name, Julia Labouche, Labusch. I don't have anything planned currently. I occasionally appear on the Streaming Rainbow channel, but I don't have anything planned with them as of right now. But if that changes, it'll be on my Instagram. You can also follow my play, Lightkeeper, on Instagram. We start rehearsals for our very first staged reading this week. So if you want to keep up with those updates, that Instagram is lightkeeper_play. I think that's everything. Thank you all so much. I'm so excited about this. This is great.
Awesome. Thank you. And Janie.
Hi, I'm Janie. I played Cordelia Rookwood today, and the link has things that you click on. Also, I have another game tonight actually on over on Nerds with Dice. Monster of the Week game. It's our last episode of a 4-shot that we're doing that I call the House That M Built, and I'm running that. And what else do I have this? I don't. I'm really bad at remembering my schedule, but I promise you, there's stuff coming up. It's just some of it's recording, some of it's just not announced yet, but you'll see me around. I love being on screen, so.
Beautiful. All right. Yes. So, announcements for the end of the show. Roll for Luck is returning on Wednesday at 8 p.m. EST with a new cast, and Numenera is showing on Fridays at 8 p.m. And the Dragon Age game premieres this Sunday at 11. So, there's lots of exciting things happening here on Girls Run These Worlds. And the creator application is always open. If you want to run a game, you can put in an application anytime, and hopefully we'll see your wonderful show on our Twitch screens very soon. And also casting starts soon for Into the Black, a Serenity game, and a game of Salvage Union. So keep an eye out on Girls Run These World socials for information on how to apply for those games. I have been Maddie Searle. You can find me on social media at Maddie is Abstract. There's a link in my bio to all the various things that I do. You can most often hear me on Realms of Peril and Glory, an actual play podcast, or I'm hoping to get my solo and 2-player TTRPG podcast, A Game of One's Own, back up and running sometime in the next couple of months. And also, as we finish up this stream tonight, we will be raiding Black Girl Mage. So if you're wanting to hang around for that, then please do. So yes, I think that is all from me and from our players. So thank you so much for watching our first episode of Blood Will Out, and hopefully see you next time for some more spooky happenings in the Briny Cliff estate. So see you soon. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.